Okay, hello regional vice presidents and executive regional vice presidents to be. So this is obviously an exciting month because I know many of you are planning qual this month, especially with coming up. So this is our call just for the guys going to region, and as requested by pretty much everybody, the very gorgeous UK #1 Kim Mellor is on the call tonight, and I love the DA that you did in Tamworth last night. I watched the, well, Sutton Coldfield, watched the live of that, Kim. Thank you for joining us.
Was it on live? Oh my god.
Yeah, you're amazing. You are always really good at what you do.
Oh my goodness. Jade was off the scale. I was like, oh my god, you've been in business for
is
years.
phenomenal.
Amazing.
Yeah, she's normally on this Zoom, but she's not able to get on, but she'll watch the recording.
She's on it. See ya.
Oh, is she on? Oh, okay. Well, brilliant.
I see a little head and her little headphones poking out.
Okay, right. Okay, so we sent you 3 top questions to go through. Do you want me to ask you them one by one, or did you just want to go for it?
Yeah, asking me that'd be a good.
Okay. Let me just.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you again, Kim, for being on this call. You are an absolute inspiration, not only me, but to lots and lots of other people. And obviously, you earned the top place for being in the top 10 this year for AAC, but you've got position #1. Obviously, last year you were in district manager elevation. You're always earning the incentives. You're on all of the trips. So I think most people wanted to know, when you were an area manager, obviously moving on to region, so you had, obviously as an area, you have like a small team, but going from area to region, there's that almost massive transition towards stepping into your own and obviously becoming more of a leader. How did you find, and what are your top tips for everybody on the call that's already either an EAM or an AM, moving on to being that regional vice president role? That's people's main sort of question, if you're happy to answer that.
Well, first of all, Danielle Wells, Miss #1 district manager elevation, top 10 sponsoring. There's not much that I'll be able to teach my team that you haven't already taught them. So everyone who's on this call, just know that you are following an incredible woman. I can remember being sat at VP retreat and like this woman was in the room, like obviously it was Danielle, and like she got to region in like a year or something. I was like, oh my god, what are your top tips? What are your top tips? So like follow her lead. She's just amazing. She's incredible. Okay, so to get from area to region, it was quite a long time ago now, but I just remember literally every single morning waking up with this feeling of I just need to get it done. You want to have the attitude of waking up every morning as if you're broke. So imagine if you had no money, you'd have to get up every morning and go and get to work. You'd have to get to work to bring money in to survive, right? And I think in Arbon what happens is success breeds laziness. So you think, oh, you know, today won't really count. But every single day of your business is 3% of your month. And 3 days doing nothing is 10% of your month gone, which is a lot. So wake up every single morning like you're a brand new consultant. Wake up every single morning as if you have had no success before. Just have that hunger and that drive to make it work. Because I remember when I went into region qual after a year, it's because I had a really good girl underneath me. Kelly, who I sponsored, went to region qual in like 6 months, 8 months. And so having someone underneath me that was so on it just made me be more on it. And I don't know if I would have maybe had that drive if I hadn't. So be sponsoring people that are better than you. Be sponsoring up. Sponsor people who are already smart, savvy, sophisticated, passionate, driven leaders. Like those people that you're a little bit scared of speaking to, those are the ones who are going to be really good at Arbon. And I think what I did is I just said goodbye to my sponsor. So you want to say wave goodbye to Danielle, and really start to take hold of your brand. This all comes from self-confidence. So you'll only step out and step in to the person you're supposed to be and become when your confidence is increasing. And that will happen. Confidence isn't something you can buy. It's something that you gain from doing. So if you need more confidence, you need to do more. You need to be in more activity. Activity is the best cure. It's like the medicine for everything. And I read a quote today and it was so true. And I think most people wait for a perfect time to make the leap or to join the business or to step it up a notch because they're waiting for confidence when you've got that completely wrong. Confidence is something that you gain from doing. So the solution to everything is more activity because your confidence will increase, your self-esteem will increase. You'll then start to really understand who you are. And when you know who you are, when you can put a picture of yourself on social media with a quote, when you can just go, oh yeah, I'm awesome, and not go and quiver, that's when you know you're so there, because you want to be so full of self-love that people just go, oh my goodness, I want to be like her. Because if you're not full of self-love, you'll be sponsoring the wrong people. You'll be helping people. You'll be saving people. You'll be in relationships where you're taking from people because you're taking love, because you need that to feel whole. So when you feel fully whole as a person, that's when you'll go to the next level. I firmly believe your management level is your confidence level. So, you know, Jade got to area manager in 5 months. So, you know, that's where her confidence was at. Some people stay at district for 2 years because that's where their confidence is at. We're all on our own journey. So please never, ever compare. I mean, I sometimes think to myself, when I started out, when I was like, oh my God, someone's got to nation 5 years. Oh my God, that's really slow. I'm going to get them in 2. You just watch me. Danielle's probably the same. She's like proper on it like me. And that was my ego talking, because I didn't realise actually this business is massively about personal development. So I had to develop a lot as a person when I joined. No one would really join me because I was like Kim the party girl. So just know that you're on your own journey and don't compare to anyone. So have confidence, which comes from activity. Really start to build your brand. Say goodbye to your upline. Lead from the front always. You need to be the ones that are earning the elevation. You need to be the ones earning the trips. I know Jade's earning the trip. I don't know if anyone else has earned it. You know, Jade was in the business for 3-4 months and she earned the trip first time. Boom. Like, why not? Like, you just need to get those things done. If Arbon have got a holiday on the table, it's your responsibility to go for it with your life. But the biggest thing that stops you from getting there is this little thing in here. It's your brain. And 80% of Arbon, as you know, is in your head. And I'm going to talk about that on tip number 3. But basically, take responsibility for who you are, for your brand, ownership, and lead from the front. And honestly, the best thing I ever did was moving away from my sponsor, Sean. Because every second of the day I was like asking him questions when I didn't give myself a time to think about that. And when you just try and figure out the things yourself, you find that you become more resourceful and you actually step out from someone else's shadow and you build an even bigger, better, brighter version of yourself. So that was my biggest thing from area to region.
Wow, thank you. Do you know what? We've got a lot of people on the call, or we're going to watch the recording, that did the QB for AIT but didn't hit the 3 promotions. I know Carol was one of them, Natalie was another, I think Stacey and Gemma were another one. Not sure about Tony or Kerry or anyone, but I know for a lot of people it wasn't quite getting that 3rd promotion. So well done everybody that did, you know, absolutely go for AIT. And I always think, even if you don't achieve AIT, the fact that you go for it, the fact that you register and go for it, you're going to be much further along than what you would have been had you not registered or gone for it. So I always recommend everybody always goes for it. And I'm looking forward to Mexico in a few weeks. Woo-hoo! Okay, so question number 2. So like, you know, Kim and everybody on the call, is there are many different ways to do Arbon. There's no one set rule. It's, you know, you can meet people in lots of different ways. You can book appointments in lots of different ways. You can do one-to-ones, you can do parties, you can do mixes. You know, there's no one rule fits all. There's a multitude of different ways. But what everyone really wants to know is, what do you do? So what works for Kim Mellor in terms of meeting people? How does Kim book appointments? And do you do one-to-ones or parties or mix? Like, what do you do?
Okay, so in the beginning, when you start Arbon, you definitely have to learn, I think, the proper personal skills. The internet is great, but I think you really need to get good at that interaction. So when I first started Arbon, it was 8 gold bags, it was one-to-ones. I was hiding behind the computer in the beginning and I wasn't getting anywhere. So I had to get out there and I had to go and speak to people. So I'd say that you really want to master the one-to-one with people, getting to build rapport with people, body language, that kind of thing, and make up in numbers what you lack in skill. Because now, Danielle will probably agree that we maybe don't speak to as many people, but the people we do speak to, we know really that they're going to sign up because we've got that influence and that confidence and we know who we're looking for. But you might not know that in the beginning. So make up in numbers what you lack in skill. In terms of how I build my business now, I can quite honestly say I cannot book in workshops. Maybe it's because I keep saying I can't. I can't. So what my way around that is I do online events. So I might do 1 or 2 online events a month. But do you know what? My main product sales just come from attraction marketing. Like when I did the 30 Days Healthy Living properly, it only took me 5 years. I went from selling 0 in 5 years to doing it to selling 8 in the next 2 months. And half of those people joined my business. So I can quite honestly say the product side of things does come from people, either recommendations from customers now, or it comes from the internet and attraction marketing. In terms of one-to-ones, again, the same. I'm in a position now where, because I'm so crystal clear on my brand and what I'm all about, I can attract people to me. But I think Instagram is an amazing tool. So just be really intentional on who you're speaking to. Have a look at the people in your team. Who are the people who are really good? And just start to look at what they do. The best people in my team are good at sales. They're in recruitment. A lot of them are teachers, but they're they're hungry. So they're the kind of people that I'm really looking for, is people that can sell, people that are not afraid of putting themselves out there. So those are the kind of people that I'm looking for. So have a think about who are the people that you want to be intentionally focusing on, and have that as an intention every day. You know, sales is one of those things where we are selling. So you want to be thinking, who's got my money? As Grant Cardone says, like, who's got my money? You won't be able to sell any products to someone who doesn't wash. But they might do the business. You know, Danielle, I know, didn't have much money and she joined the business.
Wash, though.
But she did wash. That is a bonus. So you also want to kind of fish where the fish are. So, I mean, in the beginning, I was doing everything. I was doing stores, I was doing fairs, and all of that stuff, just, it didn't really work. Didn't really work, but I thought I was doing stuff because I was being really busy. And then I used to send out a load of samples, and then no one to get back to me because I didn't put any value on the sample. So, you know, if I do give samples out now, I'm like, okay, so if I give you this sample to try, will you promise that you'll use it? Because I only give these out to people who are absolutely, you know, desperate to try them, and you've almost qualified them before you've given them the sample. It's like you're giving your children away for 2 days still. Okay, you know, can I guarantee that you're going to use them, because I'm only giving these out to exclusive a few number of people. And how do I meet people? Yeah, honestly, it's mainly online now. Mainly online. That, yeah. People that I don't know. Definitely.
Brilliant. And you're so right about the value thing. And I think sometimes it's always good to think about, obviously, we build customers, clients, and consultants. And sometimes it's good to think about us as other people's clients, because we're all clients to other people. And I recently was introduced to toxic-free cleaning products from another company. So I had to become the client. And somebody talked to me about this cleaning paste that costs about £30-40, which at first thought you'd think, oh my God, that's expensive, like 30-40 quid in a cleaning paste. But then they put value on it by saying, well, it's free of all the toxins, it's not tested on animals, and it does X, Y, Z, 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 and it lasts really long. Like they put the value on this cleaning paste, and I tried it and I absolutely loved it. And I actually think it was so worth the money now. But when they first told me the price with no value attached to it, I was like, oh my gosh. But once you add that value in, it totally turns it on its head. And sometimes it is good to think of what we're all clients for other people, what we want and how we are, you know, making purchases and stuff. I love that, Kim. That was brilliant. Okay, so the third and final question was from, I think your biggest fan, Jennifer Cowie. She said...
Well, you had some other ones, I think. How'd you get one-to-ones booked in, get people started? Do you want me to go over them?
Oh, yeah, okay. Let me do Jen's one, and then if you've got time...
that one.
Okay, so Jen said, please can you ask Kim what her top tips are? As, for example, my top tip now is district manager bonus, and to keep sponsoring. No, I didn't used to spend 80% of my time building, I used to spend 80% of my time building my districts for them. So working in her teams, and I've been doing this 2.5 years and I still have so much to learn. So I'd love Kim Mellor's top tips or key aha moments. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I did have to read that about 3 times. You sent it me. Yeah, it does make complete sense, and I think it's a fine line, because what I've noticed is when I get someone to district manager, it's great. And you know Danielle from Jerry's training, people go into autopilot, they freak out and they go, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. They sponsor a new consultant and they've listened to the starter trainings, but because they've not done it themselves, they don't do it properly. So I personally do stick with people until they've at least made a district manager. So obviously to get to nation, it's not just becoming a district manager, it's making one. So you want to be an executive district manager making machine. So yeah, you do want to spend time with your districts, helping them make districts, but you don't want to get in there and do it for them. Just be empowering them and just be guiding them on what they're doing. So say, for example, if my DM and Marie sponsor someone, I just say, okay, so are you clear on how to get started? Do you want me to go through the starter training with you? And do stick with them a little bit, but don't spend loads of time with them. Was that the answer to the question?
Yeah, and any other key, like Jen was saying, so for her, she spent too much time in her team's business and not actually sponsoring. And even though she's been doing it 2.5 years, she had this sudden aha moment of, oh my God, I need to actually be sponsoring, not just working with my team. So was there any other like aha moments for you where you thought, oh my gosh, this is what I should be doing?
Yeah, I mean, I've always had a battle with sponsoring and helping my team, but it's always come down to me sponsoring, because my team will only do what I do, and you're not doing anything for your team if you're not sponsoring. So the fact that you're in the top 10, Danielle, says to your team that's what I need to be doing. And this business is always based on sponsoring, because volume will always follow. So if you're sponsoring, you're going to get customers by default anyway. So always be having the focus of the vision of the business in your mindset. I like to talk about the business like you're walking into a champagne bar and someone offers you this massive bottle of champagne. It's £20,000. You go, oh, not going to have that. No, can't afford that. But why don't you have a glass for £10? Okay. So you have the glass for £10, and all the way through you're thinking about the big bottle of £20,000 bottle of champagne, thinking, oh, isn't that nice? But if you walked in there, they offered you the £10 glass and then tried to sell you the £20,000 glass, it's a lot harder to upsell. And that's what I think about the business and the products. Like, I always use the products as a way to talk about the business always, because the business is the best gift that we've got in Arbonne. And the amount of people that I've known as preferred clients that have said, oh, do you know what? No one's spoken to me about the business. It's a lot. But my top tips as well would be disciplined. Discipline is everything. When you wake up in the morning, make the bed. It sounds really stupid, but make the bed. When you've done that first thing, first thing is done for the day. It makes everything else that you do a lot easier. And even if you go throughout the day and your day's not gone as planned, you come home to a really nice made bed. So little mindset things like that, doing what you said you were going to do when no one's watching. I don't know if you've made the bed. I don't know if you've made those phone calls. Only you can really know. So self-discipline is everything in Arbonne. It's absolutely everything. The difference between us and Bill Gates and Richard Branson is they've had more discipline and more focus. That's it. And if you look at the likes of that girl in New Zealand who's got to region in 2 months, what is the difference, right? From someone not knowing about Arbonne to someone becoming a region vice president in qualification in 2 months. What is that? It's belief, it's confidence, it's discipline, it's ignorance on fire. It's a mindset. So sometimes we talk ourselves out of things and we're like, why do we do that? Just don't do it. Arbonne is definitely 80% in your head. So another tip is to always have your morning routine nailed. I know Danielle's got this nailed as well, but Miracle Morning is massive, humongously massive. So make sure that you're meditating, your gratitude, planning the night before what your next day you're going to do, making sure that you've got at least 3 things that you're going to do to move you forward every day. Because I am not extraordinary. I really aren't. I'm just someone who takes 1 step closer towards their dreams every day. I'm consistent. I'm self-disciplined. If it comes to 9 o'clock and I've not called anyone or messaged someone, which is very rare, I will have to message someone. I will just have to do it, because I can't go to bed knowing that I've not done it. And you want to stick a little note by your bed that says, if my team did what I did today, what will my business look like? So you've got to be leading from the front. And this comes again from wake up like you're broke. Wake up like you've got no money. Wake up like your life depended on it. And that's what you want to be like every single day. So focus is massive, right? There's so many distractions in today's society. Phones, technology, it's great, but it's so distracting. Really get in the habit of setting a timer on your phone of 30 minutes, 60 minutes. all you need to do, Arbon, is 30 minutes, 60 minutes, focus time a day. How often do we go through the day thinking about Arbon? Like, I've done it, like, and you get a headache thinking, God, I've got all these things I need to do. And you build them up and build them up and build them up so much that in order to ring someone takes a lot of effort. So you want to figure out when you're most productive in the day. Me personally, it's 9 till 10:30 in the morning. I make sure that I've done my income producing activities first in the morning before anything else. So you want to think about, what are the 3 things I need to do to move my business forward? It's adding new people to your list. It's speaking to the people and asking them. And it's following up with people. That is it. So you want to have a 90-day block in your day, if you can, where you just do those 3 things. And that will really change your business. And yeah, just how much do you want it? How bad do you want it to work? You know, how bad do you want it? You've just got to do whatever it takes. If you feel comfortable at any point, you need to do more. You need to be like stretching yourself big time in order to get to region and nation. Because success doesn't happen in the middle, it happens at the extremes. So you've got to just triple your activity. Write down your goal for this month on a piece of paper. Write down what it is. And if it's not crystal clear, you need to get it crystal clear, because you don't know where if you don't know where you're going, then the universe won't know. Because when you make that decision, weird things start to happen. Like when I declared we were going nation for November, like people were just contacting me out of the blue. It's like the universe like, okay, we've been waiting for you to decide. I was almost a bit afraid to like ask my team to pull together. I don't know what that's all about, because I felt like I was making it about me, and it's not, because me declaring going nation means that I'm declaring that everyone else is going region. So you guys declaring you're going region to your team, they need to hear you say that. They need to know that you know where you're going, so that they have the confidence to follow as well. So that number that you've written down, I want you to cross it out, and I want you to double it. I want you to write down what that figure is in doubles, because the activity that you're going to now do is a lot bigger. You're going to think differently, you're going to act differently, and you'll definitely hit the first number that you wrote down. And that's the secret to our one, is just doing more, thinking bigger, and just being really self-disciplined. And that's all that it is.
Gives you goosebumps, doesn't it? God, you are good, Kim. You are good.
Well, not really. Oh, I'm going to own that. Yeah, I am.
Okay, Tony, did you want to ask your question? Regional Vice President Tony Horn.
Hi. Hi, Kim.
Hi.
Hi. Yeah, I've been doing quite a bit of online networking, which is something I've been doing Arbonne for nearly 4 years now, and it's something that I never really did a lot of before, just the usual Facebook messages. And then just recently I had to go in for surgery, so I was kind of stuck, bedridden for a while, and really wanting to get out. So I decided to have a look at online networking. I just wondered, you said you do most of your online. What do you actually say to people? How do you, I know building a relationship's important, but in what point does Arbonne come in?
I mean, it's definitely a fine balance. I think sometimes you can spend so long building a relationship, you forget who you've spoken to, your spreadsheet's full of names, and you're like, oh, I want to speak to him again. So, for example, I've just sent some messages out today. I'll read it out to you, actually.
Okay, cool.
So, obviously, you compliment someone and you say, so, hey Sarah, I hope you don't mind me messaging you. I just wanted to reach out and introduce myself. I was looking at your amazing Instagram account and I'm really interested in what you do. So just asking them a question, getting them to write back, and then just say, oh, do you know what? I'd be so delighted to let you know about what I do and why I've contacted you. I've been a model for the past 19 years and I've loved it. However, it hasn't given me the choice, time or freedom I was looking for. So 5 years ago, I started a social marketing business within the health and wellness sector, and it's changed my life. Replied. And then I said, I'm currently interviewing smart, savvy, hardworking people to join my rapidly expanding global business. Here's a few things I'm looking for. Passionate, resilient, influential, driven, entrepreneur-minded, coachable people. would you say you're any of these things? So it's not like you're vomiting it on them, like you need to do it, you need to do it. It's like, I want to get time to get to know you. I want to compliment you. Actually, do you want to join you're qualifying people to see whether they actually, you want them in your business. You don't.
I was just about to say that. You sound like you giving like what your criteria is of who you want in your business, and then letting them make the decision of if they fit, you know, what you're looking for.
And again, this comes from self-confidence, because when you're not confident, you'll just speak to anyone, you'll have anyone in your business. When you're confident and when you go, do you know what, my time's precious, like I want to sponsor people who've got these qualities, and are you these or not? And then just say, she was dead excited at this point, she's like, oh my god, yeah, sounds really amazing. I said, you know what, I'd be so delighted to invite you onto a video call so I can just get to know you a bit better and see if we could possibly work together. And then she just ended up talking about herself, and then we've got a call on Friday. So,
right, okay, so you video call. So I'm not brilliant on Instagram. I've been using like Meetup and those sorts of apps to meet people locally, but do you usually just video call and do the one-to-one over a video chat?
Yeah.
Just to make it a bit...
Is the Arbonne for You documents done?
Yeah. That two-sided sheet.
Yeah. Just a 15-minute conversation, asking them all about them, not talking about Arbonne. You're talking, actually like listening to them to see if they're actually going to be any good for your business. So this comes from what you're looking for. So know what you're looking for, know who you're looking for. You know, you wouldn't Instagram someone who works for the butchers or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Vegan products, skincare products, animal testing. So just know who you're looking for. Just start to follow people, like people, and you can just direct inbox people and just say, do you know what, I really love your profile. You got a really nice vibe, and then just go through what I've just said there, and then just
I will.
Try to get on a little video call, and then the rest is kind of up to you to build a relationship. And then if they want to go through the presentation, if they want to watch your video, they can do. But they're a lot more susceptible when you've paid them a compliment and you want to find out about them. Because why network marketing gets a bad word, I think, is because people don't bother to get to know, like, and trust people. You've got to know, you've got to fact mind with people. So one of the questions on number 2 was, how do I get a one-to-one booked in? You're fact finding. You're finding a problem that people have got, so you've got the solution. You can't just go in and message people and say, oh my god, you're amazing at Arbonne. You got to really find that like that pain point that you can then solve with that.
Brilliant. And just one last quick thing. So with Instagram, do you type like health and fitness in, or is that how you find people, or do you just search through randomly till it's what you want?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm still trying to figure Instagram out. I just kind of search like wellness, health, pick up on hashtags. You can search for certain hashtags that you're looking for.
Okay, got you. I need to look into that a bit further.
Yeah, because Instagram's growing at such a rapid rate. You'll put a hashtag in and stuff. You won't ever cross with other people. Do you know what I mean? Because it's an extra 5 billion people are going to be joining the internet in the next 2.5 years. It's crazy. So on Instagram, it's overtaking Facebook.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I can see that. Definitely. That's really helpful. Thank you so much, Kim.
No problem.
Okay, then have you got a quick moment for Carol or not to ask hers?
Go for it. I've got my nation training at 12:30, so I've got like 1 minute, 2 minutes.
Hi Kim, I think you've just answered it, because mine was how to use Instagram effectively, because I follow you. I love all your videos. I follow everything you do, but I think you've kind of just answered it and you've given me massive ideas now, so thank you so much. It's been amazing.
Are you coming to AAC?
Yeah,
I'll be training a lot on just like how to show up on social media. So
amazing, thank you. I bumped into the toilets in you. We bumped. I think it was an area
wasn't
retreat.
Hopefully, wasn't on the toilet, was I? Oh, excuse me.
I went on the toilet. I was like, oh my god, it's Kim Mellor. Thank you so much. It's been amazing.
No problem. Thank you. I think Jade had one quick one as well. Did you, Jade?
My question was just quickly on the in terms of you messaging people. There's people in my network that I haven't yet spoken to about the business, but I'm damn sure that they know what it is. So how do you approach sort of try and build conversation without them automatically thinking, right, she's going to start asking me about the business? You know
the people that you don't want to speak to about the business? Or that
No,
you
people who I do want to speak to about the business, I know them to sort of smile at them in the street. They know I do Arbonne, but I've never really ever approached them or spoke to them about the products or doing the business.
Why don't you do the Is Arbonne for you then? The 30 in 30 days. Have you got the 30 in 30 days, Danielle?
Is that the one that was by Ashley Stone?
Yeah, so it's on the source as well, where you basically use it as an excuse to go, oh, do you know what? I know that you do Arbonne, and I know it's not for you, but I'm part of this 30 in 30 day challenge. I need to just share this little 50-minute presentation with someone. Can you help me out? So really super indirect approach. I know you know I do it. It's not for you, but could you help me out? People love to help.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So get that script. If you can't find it, I'll send it you, and you can go in that way, really super indirect. I do that with the 30 days. I was like,
I think it is on the source.
Yeah. I was like, oh, do you know anyone who wants to get really healthy, lose weight, save money, and just feel fabulous? Like, do you know anyone? I was like, yeah, works every time. Do you know anyone who wants to become financially free and £10,000 a month, want to go on holiday, want to drive a white Mercedes, and have amazing skin? Yeah, everyone.
That's so funny. I just quickly want to say, I was in Costa Coffee the other day and I said something very, very similar to the girl behind the counter. And she said, oh, you might want to go into the city centre. You'll probably find someone a bit more suited. I was like, seriously? Everything you just said, I was like, oh, can't please everyone.
There you go. That's it. You don't want everyone in your business. She's good serving your coffee in Costa Coffee, do you know what I mean? You still put the bins out. And Ian says, we still need people to serve us at Prada. What that is, I don't know.
Oh, that's
Well,
funny.
I've got my meeting training now. But thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.